Good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Um, so, what I'm going to do in this stream is I'm going to read stories that were submitted to the hashtag mmsnews. That's a hashtag where. That's a hashtag that's. How do I describe it? It's just a hashtag that. I'll just say if you know, you know. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but if you know, you know. Actually, no, because I do have to give a bit of background information. It's a hashtag submitted to Lords of the Night. That's a live stream series it's just a live stream series that takes place every Monday through Saturday. Submit stories, and some are interesting, some are funny, others are just a painful reminder of how cruel the world is. So on Lords of the Night, they don't get to all the news stories, unfortunately. So that inspired this stream where, right before Lords of the Night, I am going to read news stories that they didn't get to. That's basically the purpose of this. So now that I got the awkward introduction out of the way, let's get into the news stories that they didn't get to yesterday. This one comes from Trucking Bear, or Truckin' Bear, without the G. Man attacks 4 people with saw at Paynesville Township homeless camp, sheriff says. Paynesville Township, Ohio. A man attacked 4 people with a saw at a homeless camp where he lived early Monday, according to the Lake County Sheriff. The 3 men and 1 woman suffered injuries that range from moderate to life-threatening, according to Lake County Sheriff Captain Robert Izzo. Deputies arrested a man on suspicion of felonious assault, but formal charges have not yet been filed. The incident happened about 12:15 a.m. Monday in a wooded area on North Ridge Road between Bacon and Nursery Roads, Izzo said. Oh yeah. Sheriff's deputies found a woman covered in blood running down the street, yelling for help. Oh, at 12:15, that's definitely an alarm. Must have been really frightening to see. She told investigators that a man used a handheld saw to cut all 4 people. Jesus Christ. Where was I? Oh yeah, she told investigators that a man used a handheld saw to cut all 4 people. All 4 suffered gashes from the saw. All 4 suffered gashes from the saw and were taken to area hospitals for treatment, Izzo said. Alright, so that's the first story. Yeah, it basically ends right there. I hope everyone's all safe. I hope this guy is put behind bars. I don't know if there's going to be an update to the story. I It's Ohio. Yeah. I guess I'll have to do updates for myself. Finger licking good. They already got to. I think they got to the. Did they get to the coin shortage? That's the only one that I didn't keep track of. I'm gonna read some of it to see if they did. The head of the United States Mint asked Americans Monday to help with the national coin shortage by circulating more coins. Right now, coins aren't circulating through the economy as quickly as they were prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. David Ryder, the director of the National Mint, said in a video posted to Twitter. Ryder suggested pumping more coins into the economy by using exact change, turning coins in at banks or exchanging them for cash at recycling coin kiosks. Coin. Alright. Oh. The U.S. Treasury reported that in April, 47.8 billion coins were in circulation, about $400 million more than in April 2019. But pandemic-related contactless deliveries and reduced in-person retail spending, coins are not circulating. The coin shortage has especially been evident for the people who use coin-heavy services such as laundromats, or those who ride public transportation or pay necessities in cash. About 45 to 60% of retail stores Reading as it's written. Sorry about that long pause, guys. About 45 to 60% of retail store purchases, including those at grocery stores, are paid in cash. A letter to Treasury leaders from industry groups of convenience stores, grocery stores, and others said in June. This contains a few typos. Lower-income residents earning less than $50,000 a year are more likely to pay with cash. Many do not use banks and rely on cash payments, especially for purchases under $10. These Americans will be at the greatest risk of having their normal purchases disrupted if the shortage of coins is not addressed quickly, the letter continued. U.S. banks in recent years were reluctant to accept coins and removed coin counting machines, causing piggy banks and coin jars to overflow. But now bankers, government officials, and retailers in the coin supply chain hope residents will bring those coin jars out of hiding and dig under couch cushions to release coins back into the economy. This is not a coin supply problem, it's a circulation problem, writer said. And then it shows a tweet. Alright, that's the end of the article. Yeah, I don't think they read this one on Lords of the Night. I haven't had a chance to go back and listen. I should have right before the stream. Because I did keep track of most, just not all. I know that there are the Don Lemon one. Submitted by Chicago Man, and that was Jedi Goat. They did read. Oh my god. Alright. Because I looked at the name, but I didn't look at the handle. Because I do know they said Jedi Ghost there. Massive Dynamics submitted a few. There are two people named Massive Dynamics. Wrap your head around that. Maybe it's the same guy. Oops. No, that's the accounts. I can't believe it's a giant atom. Okay, wait, no. Is this how Daily Mail is? Kamala Harris is pranked by Russian hoaxers who pose as climate change activist Greta Thunberg and her father. I gotta start all over. Kamala Harris is pranked by Russian hoaxers who pose as climate activist Greta Thunberg and her father, and offer Biden's VP pick dirt on Trump. Hang on. Senator Kamala Harris was duped into thinking she was speaking with Greta Thunberg and her dad in a prank phone call with two Russian hoaxers, Vladimir Kuznetsov and Alexei Stolly. So they actually were Russian. I thought this was just... Well, why does them being Russian matter? Them being Russian does not matter. Alright, so they posed to the Swedish climate activist and her father during January phone call with Joe Biden's pick for vice president. These two men claimed to have a secret recording of President Trump whispering discouraging comments into the ear of Greta Thunberg at the UN summit last year. Russian pranksters pulled similar stunt on U.S. politicians and world dignitaries like Prince Harry, House Representative Maxine Waters, and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. I'll probably submit this one to the hashtag, just because it's interesting. And it shows the conversation. Yeah, I'll submit this to the hashtag soon. Sorry for the dead air, I was just reminded by something. Sorry guys, I'm just checking things. 8:20. I'll probably submit that to the hashtag one of these days. This one also comes from Massive Dynamics. It comes under the name Serial Abuse. Tennessee governor signs bill increasing punishments for certain protests. What kind of certain protests? Tennessee governor signs bill increasing punishments for certain protests. No. I don't need any audio. Alright, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee quietly signed a bill into law ramping up punishments for certain kinds of protests, including losing the right to vote. The GOP-controlled state General Assembly passed the measure last week during a 3-day special legislative session and was signed without an announcement earlier this week. Alright, I'm going 20 minutes so far. Another thing is the new law stipulates that people who illegally camp on state property will face a Class E violation punishable by up to 6 years in prison. People found guilty of a felony in Tennessee lose the right to vote. The new law also slaps a mandatory 45-day sentence for aggravated rioting, boosts the fine for blocking highway access to emergency vehicles, and enhances the punishment for aggravated assault against a first responder to a Class C felony. The lead of the American Civil Liberties Union of Tennessee told the Associated Press, which was the bill, that it would be observing enforcement of the law. We are very disappointed in General Lee's decision to sign the bill, which chills free speech, undermines criminal justice reform, and fails to address the very issues of racial justice and police violence raised by the protesters who are being targeted. ACLU of Tennessee Executive Director Heidi Weinberg said in a statement, "While the governor often speaks about sentencing reform, this bill contradicts those words and wastes valuable taxpayer funds to severely criminalize dissent." Yeah, of course they say, oh, free speech, no criminal justice, and of course they'd pull the racial justice and police violence. There have been riots. People have set things on fire. That is not the way to. That is not the way to address racial justice. That's not how you. And it's especially not how you raise issues about police violence. Because then you're just being violent at the. Yeah, you're just destroying a lot of property and beating people up. That one I should also submit to Lords of the Night. I read 4 news stories, I think. I'll probably just send it here. Ow! Oh, something got into my eye. There's no one here. Unfortunately. It's Cookie Tucker Tuesday. Have a good evening, everyone.